how to sell it. There
This
come
meeting is being recorded.
so the marketing is a very essential part to take your product out into the customer's observation. So this is the most essential thing, and uh, marketing is of multiple type, but the end goal and the end result is to get it done in the right manner. Because no matter how well you are in any particular thing, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's services, whether it's anything, you need to have the art of selling, you need to have the art of marketing. So marketing is something that is very, very essential in every business. uh, Excuse me, is someone's mic is open? I'm hearing a lot of noise from there. Can you please mute your mic, whoever that is? Thank you. And now moving on to the platforms where usually we tend to market things. It is not a very unique or very different thing that I will tell you that print media is used to market products and services. We have been watching it since our childhood, and there is a lot electronic media, broadcast media. Uh, there are articles, there are advertisements, there are paid articles, there are subliminal articles and ads that are available in the print media. Besides, electronic media is a widely used platform. We all know what TVCs are, what television commercials are, and how they are used to market certain products or services. Ditto for the broadcast media, and everyone is exposed to that. The latest thing, although not exactly the latest thing, but something that has developed its strong footsteps in the current market, is digital media. Digital media comprises of basically a few things, and the social media is one of them. So it's very, very essential because in today's world, in today's life, every person of no matter wherever you go, every person has their own electronic or their digital devices, whether they are phone, whether they're tablets, whether they're phablets, whether they are laptops, etc. So people are using digital media very aggressively, and right from the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, kids have started using the cell phones and gadgets. So it is going to increase day by day, and digital media is a very strong medium to market products and services, which I'm obvious that you all know. And the interesting thing is that we are going to discuss digital media and social media in this particular training session, and how to market products and services, and what are the key messages that we need to share from our social media or digital medium platforms. So moving on to the social media. Social media is basically a very, very, very interesting platform. There are so many avenues of social media. There are so many things that can be done through social media. And what exactly is social media? It is an online medium where people actually create content, they share content, they exchange content. Anything that is of any value, any information, or it creates any sort of awareness, falls under the uh, content, or fall under the information umbrella. So there are multiple types of informations that can be shared on social media. uh, I just place it as PTV. It is one of our national television, and PTV stands for, in this particular regard, pictures, texts, and videos. So under the umbrella of pictures, there are so many pictures. There are so many short visuals which can be shared or which are shared on social media platforms, because Visuals engage the audience. They engage the audience like anything. That's why, if you run any sort of competition, if you run any sort of research, you will find that between the texts and pictures or videos, the most engaging posts will be the ones that show videos, then pictures, and finally text. Unless and until your text is very impactful, or it has some amazing information for the users, so text is essential in that format. Text helps you in creating the copies and creating the captions, because it helps people to understand and read the main objective of the posts and what you are trying to share with the audience. There are a few types of social media. Social media is not just one sort of platform, and they can be devised and expressed in multiple ways. I am sure you must have heard about the Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a form of collaborative project, which I'm sure you can see on the slide. And in this scenario, in projects which are collaborative, people share their information, authentic information, genuine information, which is cross checked by the teams of particular platforms. We all know about WordPress, websites, content management systems. These are blogs. So there's another example like I'm sure you must have heard about Twitter, Tumblr. These are micro blogs. So there are blogs and there are micro blogs. Blogs are the platforms where you write articles in details. For instance, 500, 600, and 800 plus word article. You need to have a blog for that. You need to have a WordPress, or initially, previously, we used to have Blogspot for that. But now, WordPress is largely used. Besides, there are other CMS, content management systems as well, which are used by multiple brands and companies. Uh, Apart from that, there are content communities. What are content communities? For instance, Facebook is a community, right? And besides that, there is YouTube, where you share video content. For instance, Vimeo is there, Dailymotion was there, and YouTube is always there. So people create content, they create video content, and they have a strong community based on the subjects or the niche or the category on which they create content. Finally, I am sure everyone is familiar with the social networking sites, be it Facebook, be it LinkedIn, or Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and you name it. There are so many social networking sites which are currently used by many individuals around the world. And the interesting part is, on every platform, on every type of social media, there is abundance of content, there is abundance of information that you can easily get benefited from. You can share good content, you can share great content pieces, posts, visuals, pictures, videos, gifs, uh, and you can attract the audience, you can attract the customers, you can attract your followers in that particular regard. Do you think that social media is just a marketing tool? um, I think it's not just a marketing tool. There are a lot of other things associated with social media. Social media is a way, is a platform through which you can create relationships. Uh, we have always heard about that: create relationships with your customers, make them long lasting, make them believe you, make them trust you. And social media is actually a very good platform to attract such kind of relationship with the audience, with the target market. For instance, if you have any page, any let's say if you have a LinkedIn page and you want to directly connect with your customers or your stakeholders, what will you do? You will start posting something that will have an interest with your audience, and this way they will have a connection with you. They will send you feedback, comments. They will add some messages as well. For marketing purposes, social media is very active and it is used to conduct researches. You can just place a post on Facebook asking people what do they think about the particular product that is being launched recently by your brand, or what is something that your customer want to see on your social media pages. And this is how you will get the responses, so it helps you in research as well. Besides that, for your internal team, you can create some very inspirational posts, some posts in which you can appreciate your internal team for achieving particular goals, for achieving particular objectives. Or you can just place a picture of your most dedicated and most in, most loyal uh, employee, let's say employee of the month, employee of the year, or someone who has achieved some amazing targets in particular uh, quarter. So these are a few things with the help of which you can engage audience through social media. uh, I'm sure you must have seen a few posts where uh, brands, businesses, and individuals share their personal uh, uh, lifestyle posts as well, which directly impact on their work-life balance, and they also help in making other people understand that with a particular organization comes a particular set of lifestyle, the way they deal with people, the way they live their life. And this is something which is very essential because uh, everyone wants to be associated with a company, with a brand, with an organization that help them grow. So sharing personal achievements and sharing personal activities on social media is very essential as well. It gives a very humanly feeling to the audience. Most of the Facebook pages, most of the Instagram pages, and even LinkedIn profiles, LinkedIn pages, they all have the messaging segment, the messages, the inbox. Ditto for Twitter, where audience or your target market tend to engage with you, because this is the best way to connect with your customers. Customers Customer is always right. We have heard this many times, we have listened to this many times. But if you do not pay attention to what your customers say, uh, there can be some alarming situations which will not be very fruitful in future. So it's always good to have a connection with your customers. That is why customer services are carried out on social media platforms as well. And in case if someone is having a little problem, in case someone is going through any glitch or they need guidance, they can easily connect with the brand on their social media pages, which can be Facebook, which can be LinkedIn, which can be Twitter, which can be Instagram, and you name it, anything. Social media is also a great tool for sales. You can predict sales, you can create a strategy based on which you can achieve your targets, your goals. But how to achieve them? What are the few elements that will help you in understanding that this particular activity will result in achieving your sales or reaching what you are aiming for? We'll discuss it in detail a little later. Let's move to the other slide so that you can have the better idea of what other things are. For any social media page, for any social media marketing, strategy is the key. Without a strategy, you are going to land nowhere. One thing that is very important for any social media marketing agency, company, individual, or anything, strategy. Strategy needs to be properly developed. Strategy must have a vision where they want to, where the organization want to be. What goals do they need to, achieve to have their vision accomplished? And these goals can only be, uh, attracted or achieved by performing some tasks. Tasks are actually the very basic steps that you need to perform to achieve goal, and then have your vision, um, you know, uh, with your the main objective. So, for instance, you want to have a very active page on social media. What will you do? You will start posting multiple sort of posts on your social media platforms, digital platforms. They can be posts on texts, they can be posts on videos, they can be posts of pictures, they can be things about, the upcoming sales or upcoming discounts, or what you have done in the last quarter, or what is of importance to your target audience. And then this will start to engage your audience. When your audience will engage with that, with those posts, they will start communicating and commenting. They will have an engagement with you. uh, you can have likes, you can have multiple shares, you can have comments on your posts, and then that can result into, further communications. And by the end of the day, uh, after a particular frame of time, your vision that was to have your page very active on, with the audience and with the flow of information, that will be achieved. So see, what starts from tasks reaches to vision. And it is always essential to have a clear vision before performing anything, before performing any activity. So for a strategy, these elements are of key importance. Then let's talk about the process. For any strategy, there's a particular set of processes. That process includes a few essential things. First of all, always listen what your audience wants. Listening to them is actually knowing and understanding what your audience is interested in. So, listening is one of the most essential parts of the process. Then, based on that requirement or demand that you have listened from your audience, think about it. Plan a strategy, plan something that will help you in achieving and attaining that particular goal. Perform it. That is the third process. Do it. Do not waste time. And finally, review it. Whether you listened correctly, whether you planned it correctly, whether you performed it correctly. And then you will have an idea that from all these four processes, where were you very accurate or less accurate? Because without reviewing, without understanding what you have achieved, you will be lost. So, for this particular process, you need to have all these things corrected. Social media platforms that are actively used in Pakistan. Well, I'm sure everyone of you must have used LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and Snapchat. Well, there's TikTok as well, and there is YouTube as well. But for businesses, usually a few platforms are very, very essential. LinkedIn is a platform that is used for professional collaborations, that is used for sharing information of high quality, of great uh, information, because on LinkedIn there are very huge there is a very huge number of professionals who are present and who are actively participating in different kind of discussions. On Facebook, it is what you may say a sort of a personalized social network. Uh, that is why you must have noticed the language on LinkedIn and the language of on Facebook is different. If any brand or any company is communicating in a certain way on LinkedIn, they will be communicating it a little differently on Facebook, because the kind of audience that you are trying to engage is different. They have different uh, personas, they have different needs. And on Twitter, it is all about how quick you are, how accurate you are, and how well you can engage with your audience in the minimal uh, content, minimalistic content, because Twitter is a microblog and it does not provide you the uh, luxury of very long content pieces. Pinterest is a platform that is used for research purposes. Mostly organizations in Pakistan do not use Pinterest, but uh, for inspiration, for for research purposes, for making their social media pages look good, Pinterest is very actively used, because there is a lot of content over there, for from infographics to simple posts, and from information based posts to awareness based posts. So Pinterest is very very actively used for the awareness and inspiration purpose in Pakistan. Instagram, everyone uses use Instagram. Excuse me. Everyone uses Instagram because Instagram is very fun platform to use, and people create reels, people create videos, people create content, unique content, and brands are taking uh, influencers from Instagram on board like anything. It has been observed in the last 3 to 4 years that Instagram has actually uh, increased its share, and is giving a very tough competition to Facebook, LinkedIn, and even Twitter. And then comes TikTok and Snapchat. These both platforms, I'm sure after pandemic or during pandemic, you must have observed that Snapchat and TikTok have actually upped their games. People are watching videos on TikTok like anything. People are creating content very actively, and some are very creating content religiously, because they want to be in the game. They want to be noticed, and brands are actually using these platforms to share their content, to share their ideology, to share their products and services very actively. Okay, now I will go one by one with the platforms. So first of all, LinkedIn is a platform that is mostly used for professionals, by professionals. It is a perfect platform to apply for jobs. It is a perfect platform to collaborate with people, with professionals. It is a great platform to create information about industry specific news, uh, whether you want to connect with the industry leaders, you want to follow someone whose work you really appreciate and really admire. So on LinkedIn, you need to have a very very strategic approach to create a profile initially. And besides that, what are the most essential elements that you need to create a very active and a very interesting profile that can engage the attention of your audience or of the people who are professionally connected with you. First of all, you need to have a very specific and very accurate tagline. Tagline in the sense that you must have a very specific bio. Bio is the information that appears in the first 2 to 3 lines on your profile. For instance, if you are a digital marketer, then your profile must have the term digital marketing in that. Uh, Recently, LinkedIn has started picking up the hashtags as well. So you can add a few hashtags to your profile. By few, I mean 1 to 2, not more than two or not more than three. So keep your profile hashtag centric as well. This will help you in popping up when someone searches about a particular trait or a particular characteristic or any hashtag. So for a good profile, you need to have your complete name. You need to have a good, solid uh, statement about your career. And some people also use the terms or the positions that they have been, worked. So that can also be done. What are your main areas of interest? You can mention that as well. Uh, you can have a proper information of yourself uploaded, like your CV or resume. You can tweak it a little bit, and you can make it more interesting and post it on your LinkedIn profile. This will help people understand your personality. This will help people find you on social media, and that is how they can connect with you, or they can have a better understanding of what you have to offer to them. Then you need to be very careful what kind of posts you are sharing on LinkedIn. If you are a professional and if you want to create or place yourself in a position where you are considered as an opinion maker, as an opinion leader, or someone who follows everything about a particular subject. So you need to start posting in such a manner that all your posts should have those particular categories inside your post. For instance, uh, if you're a digital marketer, you can post about social media practices. You can post about what are good practices that you should follow on LinkedIn to gain multiple connections. What are the ways to increase Twitter followers on your Twitter account, how to create a very good Facebook campaign with the limited resources. These are just a few topics that any digital marketer should use, because whenever people start to read about your post, they should have an idea that what kind of personality you have as an individual and as a professional. If you are going to impress them with your understanding and with your knowledge related to the digital marketing, uh, they will definitely contact you. They will definitely try to connect you. They can either offer you job roles, they can either offer you consultation, they can either offer you some sort of collaboration which will be helpful for you as well in future. And then there is a very interesting uh, option that LinkedIn provides, that is articles. If you are someone who has a good knowledge, a good grip, a good understanding about any particular topic, write an article. Write something that can add value to your readers or your connections. If the article will be good, trust me, it will be shared, it will be liked, and it will be commented by many of the users. All you need to do is just share it on your main profile, and this way they can like it, they can share it, and when they will share it, the rest of the individuals, the rest of the professionals will also read it. They will get they will get the notification that you have liked someone's article, and they will go there, they will read it. If that offers value to them, they will connect with it, they will communicate with you, and this is how your circle will expand on LinkedIn. So the interesting part is that we all know content is the king, but with a proper context, you can create wonders. You can have a great connection with your readers, with your professional connections, and this will help you in getting out and making your content available for everyone. So on LinkedIn, the very important aspect is to have a very, very good content centric post. How effective that content is, I have already discussed it. It should have the information, it should have the proper level of storytelling, it should have something of value for your reader. That is the only reason why they will engage with your post. And on the pages, try to come up with good captions, try to come up with good images and post them. Keep your post relevant, keep your post engaging, keep your post coming, so that uh, it doesn't look like that on yeah, in one week you're posting just two posts a week, and in the other week you're posting seven posts a week. So have a proper social media calendar. I will discuss what social media calendar is a bit later, but you need to have a very good strategy. You need to have a very solid strategic approach to carry out LinkedIn as your personal profile or as your professional page. So keep that very much in contrast. So most of the people ask that what are the best times or some point of times when you can get the maximum um, engagement on LinkedIn. Well, to each their own. I always recommend that, because there are certain businesses that work in a little different manner, and you can only find it by trying and by experimenting. So experimentation is very important for any social media marketer. So what you will need to do is, for the first few days, understand your audience. Try to keep your posts in different frames, so that people can actually engage with your posts, and you will have an idea that what are the what are the key uh, times when people are trying to engage with your post. So how about if we have some questions based on LinkedIn? So we will then move to the Facebook. Is there any question that someone is interested in asking? Please feel free to ask. Can I have any questions, or you just want me to mm, proceed? Yes, Abdullah, please. You are mute at the moment.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, my question is how to get more connections on LinkedIn?
Okay. Uh, it is a good question, and uh, the very basic thing to have multiple connections over LinkedIn is start searching for the right kind of keywords, the right kind of hashtags. Remember, I told you about uh, the the hashtags that uh, LinkedIn that you can add in LinkedIn, you can search for those. For instance, you are trying to get in connection with someone who is in the digital marketing field, who is a social media marketing manager, who is a content writer, or who is a graphic designer. Then you may search it from the search bar of LinkedIn that it also offers. Besides that, there are also groups on LinkedIn where you can, where you can join in, and you can have some discussions, you can participate in discussions, you can always add some comments to the discussions. This way you will create yourself you will create yourself accessible to multiple people, and people will know that you are someone who has uh, uh, an idea about the topic, about the subject, and then you can slowly and gradually connect with people. There is a practice that is commonly used by many people. Sorry. And that is, they add every random person. And this is actually not a very good practice, and I personally recommend it that, because what happens is, it's not always about the number of connections. It's always about how well you can communicate with those connections that you already have. So there are two mindsets. One mindset is, have as many connections as possible, who actually don't know you, to be very honest. And then there are people who slightly know you, as they have worked with you, or those who have an idea what your profile is about, on which topics you post, and they can vouch for your credibility as well. Because whenever you create some sort of content, it is definitely read by multiple people, multiple professionals, and they weight your content based on that. So the simplest thing is to have more connection, is to either have a search option, uh, with which you can create a good connection with whomever you want to connect with. Or you can go category wise, you can go uh, professions wise, and this will help you in creating more connections. And always try to engage into discussions with value addition, with information sharing. uh, have I clarified your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I think Abdullah Abbasi was has raised his hand, and do you need to add something? Okay, then I think I should move on to the next topic, that is Facebook. I'll come back to questions again once these slides of Facebook will be covered. Similarly, on Facebook, you need to have a strong profile that shares a lot about you, in terms of who you are, what do you prefer, what kind of interests do you have. Plus, Facebook is kind of a personal platform, but people use it very interestingly, and the results are very amazing. For instance, if you are a marketing professional, and you share quite a few posts about your marketing experiences from different, part of the world, some different organizations that you have been working with, or something that is appreciated by you in terms of marketing and aesthetics. So you can post about all all those things on your profile. There are particular groups. For instance, for digital marketers of Pakistan, there's a group, Digital Marketing Pakistan, on Facebook. You can join them. You can start posting your ideas, your thoughts, and your experiences about a particular campaign or about a particular digital marketing campaign over there. There are certain other avenues. There are certain other groups which are created for foodies, which are created for journalists, which are created for oil and gas professionals, and you name it. Every industry, every profession has a particular, or in fact more than many groups on Facebook. So try to associate yourself with those groups, participate in them, discuss some interesting topics, highlight some questions, so that people understand that whatever you are asking or whatever you are trying to communicate is of value and is of importance. And this will help you in building some great connections on Facebook as well. And the interesting thing about Facebook is that people connect with you more easily as compared to uh, LinkedIn, because there are things that are very very mm, that can create talkability on Facebook comparatively easier. And this will help you in creating a good uh, contrast of information and of awareness. For any brand, for any business, Facebook needs to be uh, very active. The reason why I'm saying is, people use Facebook very actively, and it's one of the most used social media platforms these days. And you name any multinational brand, you name any FMCG, you name any beverage industry, you name any oil and gas brand, or anything, or consumer goods brand, everyone has their Facebook page, and they are actively posting things on that particular Facebook page. Why? Because people are engaging with the content. People love to find new content. People love to see new content. People love to engage with interesting posts, whether they are video posts, whether they are uh, pictures, whether they are gifs, whether they are memes. There are multiple brands who have started using memes on their Facebook pages. Why? Because it makes people readily connect with the brand, because it adds the element of fun. Every person likes to have fun, whether the person is professional, whether the person is an entrepreneur, whether a person is doing nothing, just studying. Everyone loves to have fun. And the key of social media is to engage with your audience by sharing information with the element of fun associated with it. Everyone talks about the storytelling skills. What are storytelling skills? Storytelling is all about how to engage your audience, and let them have fun, and let them have some connection with your brand. I must say that there are some amazing campaigns around us which are recently being carried, and all these campaigns have been very very interesting and fun. For instance, recently, I am sure that all of you must have heard about "Why Not Mary Jaan." This is a slogan used by one of the most popular beverage industries around the world. The terminology, the connection, the content, and the caption, it engages the audience. And this is the reason why having a very sharp, quick, quick-witted content is really needed. So there are many other campaigns like that as well. And on your page, you should be very vocal about some interesting things. You can create a very interesting set of content pieces, which can help you uh, in, uh, in creating some interesting, fun-based elements and posts. Facebook advertising is very commonly used. There are certain people who want to know how to create a Facebook page and keep it running, and how to have more audience on the Facebook page, the relevant audience on the Facebook page, and besides that, how to have more engagement rate. So the easiest thing is to start advertising your Facebook page. Share it with your friends, share it with the professionals, share it in groups, and then use the advertising tool of Facebook. Does someone also ask a question? Hi, Humayu. I think you have raised your hand. Do you want to ask something?
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Am I
Walaikum
audible?
assalam. Ji Humayu.
Okay. Sir, I have one important question.
Yes.
As I am working as a digital entrepreneur and I am providing my
Mm-hmm.
service and I am helping people across Pakistan in improving their professional written communication as well as speaking skill and presentation skill and public speaking skill. So I am
Mm-hmm.
using all these social media platforms that you have just talked about Facebook. So I have a question related to the previous subject where you were talking about the other platforms. As we are running our social media ad, our posts, our ads on Facebook. So can
Mm-hmm.
we run our posts, our ads on LinkedIn as we are running on Facebook? Is there any criteria to launch our Facebook, our ad on LinkedIn?
Bilkul, there is definitely a criteria to run your ads on LinkedIn, but usually what happens is most of the entrepreneurs or even most of the organizations, they are sort of short on the budget. This is something that I have experienced in the last 10, 11 years. Uh, Promotion or advertising on Facebook is comparatively cheaper as than LinkedIn. So the returns that you expect from any ad campaign is actually very different based on the kind of budget you are spending. That on LinkedIn you can definitely share your ad, you can run a campaign, you can run it on CPC based, you can run it on pay per click model, but the entire thing is that you need to have a good backup of the budget. You need to have a good demographic insights that where your ad is going to be appeared, what interests do your audience have, and what kind of target audience you're looking at. So based on all these little things, and region, which region are you catering to? Because rates vary based on region as well. So for instance, something in if you're promoting something in India, it might be a little cheaper as compared to promoting it in Pakistan or in Dubai or in US or in Canada. So that rate varies from region to region. And as far as the promotional campaign is concerned, for sure you can run it on Facebook, you can run it on Instagram, you can run it on LinkedIn, as you are already highlighting that you have been into the industry of language and presentation skills. uh, Throughout the world, everyone need that particular understanding, and this is actually very interesting thing, and you can easily run that. uh, but what I mentioned about the budgeting is totally your call. You can have a detailed session about it as well. That what kind of budget can one expect from? So does it clarify your concern, your question?
Yes, sir. You have wonderfully explained the things in a very detailed manner. Sir, I have seen that when I am running my ad on Facebook. So supposedly I spend 2000 rupees upon Facebook ad in 1 week. So I can easily generate 20,000 or 25,000 or 30,000 rupees in 1 week through Facebook ad. So can
Mhm.
it be happened on LinkedIn as well, or there is another criteria for that? Because I want to expand my business right now. I have got many leads right now with me. So can I follow the same things upon LinkedIn, or shall I still stay upon Facebook only?
No, what I will recommend you is if your formula or if your campaign is running good on Facebook, then keep it side by side. And what I personally do myself every time for every campaign, I make subsets of the audience. For instance, if my budget is, let's say, 10,000 a week, and I know that I have to start doing something new. So, and those 10,000 are directly invested in Facebook. So what I will do is, initially for the first week, I'll take 8,000 straight to Facebook, and the remaining 2,000 to LinkedIn. This way, I will have a comparative analysis between what Facebook is offering to me and what LinkedIn is offering to me. And then there will come a point when I will run ads on based on the same amount, like 5,000 on Facebook and 5,000 on LinkedIn. Excuse me. So this will give me a better idea that in the same capacity and in the same amount, what results am I fetching from two different platforms, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, and then you can uh, weigh or weight the importance of the kind of audience that you are receiving, because there are times when on Facebook you do not receive the right kind of audience. You receive so many likes, you receive so many followers, you receive so many audience, but that audience is at times not relevant to your business. So that is one of the key reasons that you need to have um, the A/B testing, which we call alpha beta testing. So with same amount you run an ad on the Facebook, and with the same amount you can run an ad on the LinkedIn. This will help you in understanding which platform is giving you the better option. Does it make any sense, or does it clarify your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am highly satisfied. And inshallah, I'll ask more questions, please. Thank you for guiding me in
Thank you.
such a very nice manner.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. So
Thank
nice,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Abdullah Basi, your hand is still raised. So if you have anything to ask, please ask, or unraise your hand, please. Thank you.
Yes, I have something to ask. I have a group on Facebook, but it has 9 members, but the people who like and see my posts are little. Like there are 3 people who.
Okay, so you are suffering from the engagement problems. Am I right, Abdullah?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, this is something that is commonly seen in groups. And this is why I can give you an example based on a few groups. Are you on any other very active group, like a group that has 20,000 or 100,000 or 50,000 plus audience? Are you in any sort of such group?
No.
Okay. What happens is when you create a group, and if it's a new group, let's say it's a group that is first a new group. Comparatively, it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months old group. It has very limited audience. Let's say nine number is a very little number when we talk about the engagement. So what happens is, first you need to have people who are interested in that particular group. What happens is, my name is Shafiq, people know me, and I ask them, please like my group, or this is my Facebook group, please join it. They might join my group because they know me personally, but you cannot guarantee that they will engage with my group or with my posts. Why? The reason is, are they interested in what I post? Are they interested in the kind of group that I have created? Do they want to see the posts? Because some people, based on friendship, based on professional association, they uh, they like your group as a courtesy, but on a longer term they do not engage with your posts. So at the end of the day, you become dissatisfied that, oh my god, I have 100 plus group members, but only 20 are seeing the post, 15 are seeing the post, or 50 are seeing the post, which is a very good number, but again, people do get dissatisfied. So what I would suggest you is, first, add people who have the same interest, who want to participate in the group. Don't just add people without their interest. First thing. Second thing, try to inspire them or try to make them post in your group. You should not only be the one person who will post in your group. Try to delegate it, try to give authority to others so that they can also post in your group. This way they will have a feeling that your group is actually their group. So that is the difference between having an active group and having a group that just shares posts. So what you will do from now on is ask people to post in your group, connect with people who want to be a part of that group, and then if someone else posts, try to comment on that particular post. Be the first one to comment on that particular post. Does it make any sense to you?
Yes.
So follow this, and I am sure within a week, within 2 weeks, within 3 weeks, you will find a positive change, hopefully. And groups usually take some time to process, because on groups you don't have the opportunity, or you do not have the luxury to promote as well, to add to run ad campaigns as well. So running a group is a very technical thing. I won't use the term difficult. It's a technical thing, but it gives you a very interesting and amazing outcomes and results. Is there anyone else who wants to ask a question, or I should just move on with the slides?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, मैं एक क्वेश्चन
Walaikum
आस्क
assalam.
करना चाह रहा था कि फेसबुक पेज पे मैं ऐड रन करता हूँ, और एक ऐड
Mhm.
एक वीक के लिए अगर मैं रन करता हूँ तो उसका रिस्पांस अच्छा आता है। फिर उसी ऐड को सेम ऐड सेम क्राइटेरियाज के साथ सेम डेमोग्राफिक्स के साथ अगर नेक्स्ट वीक में भी रन की जाती है तो उसका रिजल्ट इतना अच्छा नहीं आता। तो ये क्या फेसबुक का
Mhm.
एल्गोरिदम ऐसा होता है या क्या सीन होता है कि मतलब सेम चीज एक दफा रिस्पॉन्ड कर रही है, दूसरी दफा वो रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रही?
ओके, बहुत अच्छा सवाल है ये। इसका एक और वो भी हो सकता है, स्पिन ऑफ भी हो सकता है। वही हो सकता है कि आप सेम ऐड जो है एक दिन के लिए रन करें सेम अमाउंट के ऊपर, और वही ऐड आप एक हफ्ते के लिए रन करें सेम अमाउंट के ऊपर, उसमें भी आपको ऐसे ही चेंजेस या ऐसे ही ऑब्जर्वेशंस देखने को मिलती हैं। लेकिन होता यह है कि जब आप फेसबुक पे कोई ऐड रन करते हैं तो फेसबुक भी ये चाहता है कि प्रमोशन जो है वो ज्यादा होती रहे, एडवर्टाइजिंग जो है वो ज्यादा होती रहे, और जितना आपने पहले इन्वेस्ट किया था आप उससे कुछ और ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट करें। सो इसीलिए जैसे ही आप पेज बनाते हैं, आपके पास चाहे ऑडियंस हो या ना हो, अक्सर फेसबुक की तरफ से 1 या 2 दिन के अंदर, 36 आवर्स या 48 आवर्स के अंदर एक मैसेज जरूर आता है कि प्लीज पोस्ट, प्लीज बूस्ट योर दिस पर्टिकुलर पोस्ट। कोई आप पोस्ट लगाते हैं तो उसके नीचे आ रहा होता है कि बूस्टेड बूस्टेड। तो फेसबुक भी ये कोशिश करता है कि आपसे किसी तरीके से जो है वो इन्वेस्टमेंट निकलवाए। यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा स्मार्टली प्ले करना पड़ता है। वो स्मार्टली प्ले उसके बहुत सारे तरीके हैं। वो इस तरह से किया जा सकता है कि सबसे पहले तो आप जो भी अपनी ऑडियंस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, हमेशा अपने ऐड को थोड़ा सा, अगर आपको लगता है कि एक हफ्ते का ऐड है, उसको एक हफ्ते से ज्यादा रन करें, क्योंकि जितना लंबा ऐड चलेगा उतनी ज्यादा पॉसिबिलिटी है ऑडियंस ज्यादा से ज्यादा एंगेज होने की। और ये जो एल्गोरिथम की आपने बात की है, जो कंसर्न आपने शो किया है, ये बिल्कुल सही है। फेसबुक के एल्गोरिथम के अंदर ये चीज बिल्कुल है कि जो आपने पिछली पोस्ट की है और जो बजट आपने पिछली पोस्ट पे लगाया है, वो एक्सपेक्ट करेगा कि उससे ज्यादा बजट आप अगली पोस्ट पे लगाएं। सो दिस इज सॉर्ट ऑफ अ ग्लिच, या यूं कहिए कि मनी मेकिंग प्रोसेस है। तो उसमें दैट इज द प्लेटफॉर्म एंड दैट इज द नॉर्म एंड दैट इज द प्रैक्टिस। सो कोशिश ये कीजिए कि या तो आप वही जो मैंने अभी पहले भी एक जिक्र किया था कि दो एड्स एक साथ रन कीजिए। एक में ऑडियंस को थोड़ा सा ट्वीक कीजिए, थोड़ा सा चेंज कीजिए सेम बजट के ऊपर। दूसरी जो आपकी एड कैंपेन है, उसमें भी थोड़ी ट्वीकिंग कीजिए सेम बजट के ऊपर, एंड देन एनालाइज के किस में आपको ज्यादा बेहतर रिजल्ट्स अचीव हो रहे हैं, एंड देन उसको फिर आप फॉलो कीजिए। एंड एक वक्त पे आने का, लेट्स से थर्ड वीक, आप वही कीजिए जो आपने फर्स्ट वीक किया। सो जितना ज्यादा आप थोड़ा थोड़ा चेंजेस लाते रहेंगे अपनी कैंपेन्स के अंदर, वो आपको डिफरेंट और बेहतर रिजल्ट्स मिलते रहेंगे। तो डू ट्राई इट एंड लेट मी नो कि आपको ये चीज कितना काम आई आगे।
जी सर, बहुत शुक्रिया।
थैंक यू। Okay, so I think no more question at this particular moment. So I'm moving on to the other slide. चलिए, फेसबुक भी हो गया। अगेन फेसबुक पे बेस्ट पोस्टिंग टाइम्स क्या हो सकते हैं? वेल, इट टोटली डिपेंड्स अपॉन व्हाट काइंड ऑफ पेज you run. If you are running a very professional page, then definitely from 10 to 6 p.m., 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., or 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can post your uh, you can post your content, but it also depends upon what kind of industry you're in, what kind of audience do you have. If you're running a fashion brand, if you're running an apparel brand, if you're running a cosmetic brand, then these time frames and these engagement criteria can be changed. और फिर वो रात में चले जाता है. People also get active in the nights on Facebook. So it totally depends upon what kind of audience do you have. Okay, now comes Twitter. Twitter is one of the most interesting and one of the most volatile platforms. I actually love Twitter, so that's why there are so many things to discuss. And Twitter is one platform which over the years have actually came out a savior in Pakistani market. There used to be campaigns on Facebook, there used to be campaigns on LinkedIn, there used to be campaigns on multiple other platforms, social media platforms. But on Twitter, people are still promoting their brands, people are still running their campaigns, people are still creating controversies, people are creating stories, people are creating narratives on Twitter like anything. In Pakistani Twitter panel or in any other Twitter panel, you will see so many hashtags trending organically or paid. So Twitter is very, very dynamic. Twitter is a micro blogging social network, and initially it used to offer 140 characters. Now there are 240, 260, 280 characters. And what happens is, if you are good in writing, if you are good in expressing yourself, if you're good in starting the communication, Twitter helps you a lot in building up your personality, in building up your profile, and in building up your professional page. So people actually go on Twitter to check what's happening in the country. There are examples that a news was first cracked on Twitter and then it was taken to electronic media or print media. So the power of Twitter is actually really influential. So people's choices are influenced through Twitter. It has been seen, it has been observed. There is a very strong game of hashtags. People use hashtag to create awareness. People use hashtag to create controversy. People use hashtag to create awareness about the brands. Uh, there are multiple brands who have run their social media campaigns which started from Twitter. Their hashtags got trended, and why is it so useful? The reason is marketers know that organic content is of prime importance. Organic content is the kind of content that people share, that people love to share. You can use a handful of Twitterati, you can use a handful of paid influencer to start a trend or to start talking about a particular hashtag. But if that hashtag will not be picked up by the general audience, by the organic users, then it will stand nowhere. So the entire dynamics of Twitter hashtag is very interesting. You need to be very focused. You need to be very precise. You need to be very careful in creating hashtags. Hashtag that can engage the common user. There are a few ways with which you can improve your tweeting game, and that is you can engage with anyone. You can engage with professionals. You can always ask questions in decent manner, in professional manner. Twitter is a combination of both. You can find professional people over there. You can find people who are just there to have fun, who are just there to have some, some friendly discussions, and that's it. But Twitter gives you an opportunity to connect with multiple people's, so many people, and this is why uh, Twitter is very actively used in multiple parts of the world. Brands run campaigns on Twitter, and how do they run it? They basically get their hashtags trended. Do you know what trends are? Trends are actually the most talked about topics or the most talked about hashtags that appear on the right hand side of the panel. Be it a Pakistani panel, be it an Indian panel, be it US, California, Canada, Toronto, Abu Dhabi, XYZ, any region based panel. Whatever the topmost discussions are happening in that particular region, the panel will give you a brief insight or a brief idea, the most talked about hashtags on the right hand side. Usually there are 5 to 10 hashtags that appear on the right hand side of the Twitter panel. So Twitter campaigns are very interesting. Twitter campaigns include videos. Twitter campaign include memes. The meme game is very strong on Twitter, and brands do use memes to uplift their fun element. Hello, someone is trying to ask something. Okay. And on Twitter, you need to have a very good understanding of the hashtag. Hashtags work as keywords. If you have some idea about keywords, keywords help people understand what the particular uh, profile is all about, what the particular person is interested in. So even on Twitter, you need to have some hashtags placed on your profile and on your bio. With that, there is if you're associated with a company, with an organization that also has a Twitter account, so use the mention on your bio as well. A mention is at the rate. So in this particular slide, if you can see that founder at the rate Media Magic, so that is actually a mention. The Media Magic is mentioned over there, whereas the hashtags are the interest that a particular individual or a particular Twitterati has in it for themselves. So this is how Twitter is very essential. You can connect with people. If someone has any questions, if someone have any query, if someone is going through any problematic situation, uh, they usually connect on Twitter with the particular brand, and then someone from brand's team connect with them, sort the issue, and this is how they minimize the damage. And Twitter also helps in creating narratives. Twitter also helps in creating some good stories based on which some talk of the town articles are also pitched. It has been seen that a few stories were shared on Twitter to get public mileage, and based on that, some journalists, some authors, some article writer, they started a proper research behind it, and they wrote about it on any digital publication, and that is how the news got into the limelight. So Twitter is very effective in current Pakistani market scenario. We have since seen so many things happening on Twitter day in day out, whether they are professional, whether they are political, whether they are education based, whether they are uh, nation based. So Twitter has a very strong narrative. Best time to Twitter, best time to tweet is actually any time. To be honest, uh, you don't know where someone is, engaging with your tweet, because if you're using a hashtag and that hashtag is followed by someone somewhere, then it will be appeared in his particular in their particular uh, interest, and they will engage with your tweet. So it also depends upon the usage. Sorry. So if you have any question related to Twitter, please ask. Do I have anyone who wants to ask about? I think none at the moment. Okay. Then comes Instagram. Instagram is also a very interesting platform because businesses are using these platforms quite actively. People are creating content very actively on social media, and Instagram is one of the platforms where you can find videos, where you can find pictures, where you can find different uh, posts which has the potential to engage your kind of audience, your particular customers. Instagram is mostly used by youngsters, and if you want to have a strong hold of your customers, then you need to start catering to the younger audience so that they are familiar with you, they have the understanding of what your brand offers to them, and besides that, they can easily recall your name whenever they want to plan to buy something or make a decision about buying something. Instagram has a few, you know, a few things that need to be followed. First of all, your content should be original. Ideally, it should be unique, and because if you will not use the unique content, there are possibilities that your account will get either banned or discontinued because uh, the originality of the content and uh, the uniqueness of the content is very essential for everyone, and Instagram follows the rules quite seriously. uh, you need to understand what kind of audience do you have, what kind of posts do they like, because there are times when brands do not understand that what kind of posts do they share. So they can share posts of any sort. A brand, a business, an FMCG can post about the future development, can post about the path breaking achievement that it has achieved, or something about women inclusion, or giving back to the society, or sustainable goals that they want to invest in. This is how you can engage your customers. This is how you can engage your audience. And that is why Instagram is very, very dynamic. And there are possibilities that you might get very interesting responses on Instagram as compared to any other platform. And since the audience is young, so they want to know uh, many details, and you can have them satisfied with the expertise, with the knowledge that you have. Instagrammers are there. They are professionals, they are individuals, and even businesses also have some Instagrammer on their on board. So, with the help of which they can create some chatter, some engagement, some knowledge sharing content posts about particular subjects. So Instagram is an active tool which is used by multiple brands, multiple businesses, and they are sharing live videos. They are sharing some good content ideations. They are sharing some podcasts as well through their Instagram pages. They are having question and answer sessions on Instagram. But for that, you need to have a good audience developed. So how to develop an audience on Instagram? You need to post actively. You need to post at least once a day on your Instagram profile or your Instagram page. So ideally one should post at least one post a day on the feed, and at least 5 to 8 stories. The stories are usually 10 seconds or 12 seconds long. So just connect with your audience, let them know what's happening in your life, let them know what's coming up in future, what are you currently working on. And there are so many topics that you can share with your audience. So these are a few things that needs to be taken care on the Instagram platform. And if there's anything that you need to ask, then please ask the question. And once again, best time to post on Instagram, well, it also depends upon what kind of page you're running, what kind of audience do you have, what kind of personality do you have. Do you find good response on your Instagram feeds? Do you find good response on your Instagram stories? Or is it something like your videos are doing good, or your pictures are doing good, or your live sessions are doing good? This you need to understand, you need to crack first, and then create a strategy based on which you can keep posting your content. Do we have any questions till now? Please raise your hand. Abdullah Basi, your hand is raised. Please ask.
Sir, I have a question that when I post on Instagram, people like my post, but they aren't following me. I got a good amount of likes, like 5 to 10, because it's only 2 or 3 months. But I think it's good. But people aren't following me. I'm using hashtag. I'm using proper thing. Please explain.
How many hashtags are you using, Abdullah?
15, 20, 30.
Okay. First of all, on Instagram, it used to be a practice a few years back that people used to add 15 to 25 hashtags in their post. What happens is uh, people might like your post, but they might not be the relevant post. For instance, if you are posting a food picture, a picture of Chinese cuisine, right? And you are adding hashtags like foodies, or desi food, and food blogger, etc., etc., etc. So in all these hashtags, the relevant hashtag is not actually there, which is Chinese food or Chinese cuisine or even food blogger, let's say. So people might like your post, but they will not be consistent and they will not like your page or your profile, because uh, usage of so many hashtag is not appreciated. uh, 3 years back, 2 years back, you can find articles which used to share that use as many hashtags as possible. But now if you actively research, you will find that fewer hashtags and relevant hashtags are essential. Relevance is the key. So in your next post, in your next 5 to 8 or 10 posts, try to use few hashtags but relevant hashtags. And what's your profile, what your profile offers actually? I mean, what's it about? It's about in a particular person, it's about a particular category. What's it about?
I'm a front-end web developer, so I am posting a series on HTML. So I'll use proper hashtag. Like for example, my last post was on input types. So I'm going to post HTML input types, HTML learn HTML, etc. I'm using relevant, but right, I am using 15 to 20, so that's why it doesn't work. So I'm going to use less hashtag.
Okay. Yeah, do that. And plus, uh, in how many days do you post? I mean, in a week's time, how many posts do you share on Instagram?
2 days a week.
Okay, this is quite a lesser number. It is a very little number. So I would suggest you to please use at least 5 posts a week, at least. And do you post on stories as well?
No.
Okay. Let's say if you are posting something today at 5 p.m., right? And at 9:30 or 10 p.m., post the same thing on your story with one or two relevant hashtags. Follow this practice for, let's say, next 10 to 15 days, and you will start noticing a few results and few changes. Follow that. But before that, create a content calendar. I'll tell you what a content calendar is after a few slides. And based on that content calendar, start posting your content. This will help you engage more audience. This will help you engage with more comments as well. So try to do this. And if you have any other questions, my Instagram ID is there on the slide. You can always ping me. You can always ask any question which you want to. Fine. Great. Sorry. Okay, so now we are moving to TikTok and Snapchat. I don't think I have to tell you a lot about it, because TikTok is very aggressively used in Pakistan and different parts of the world as well. But very few TikTokers are actually using branded content on it. Some are using it very professionally, and the rests are actually using it for the sake of entertainment. And that's how TikTok is very widely used. People are creating content and they are creating transformation videos. They are creating some good informative videos. TikTok is all about being cool, being funny, being aggressively sharing the content, mostly video content. Uh, but have you seen many businesses use TikTok? Well, there are very few businesses who are courageous enough and experimental enough to use TikTok or Snapchat. Reason being, it's not easy to devise a proper strategy or a storytelling um, narrative that can help you to create a good TikTok strategy. The response time is very quick. It can be it can create a backlash as well. So I would suggest that try to find narratives that can actually help you in creating good stories, and this is how you will be in a position to create relevant content for the brand and for yourself. So this is what TikTok is all about. And if businesses are not using it, there must be some reason behind it, and that reason is the availability of good content or relevant content that can be used and pitched to the brands. Okay, another interesting slide that I would like to share with you all. What is the need of social media marketing? I mean, we have blogs, we have websites, we have banner ads, we have digital ads, we have so many other things. But why social media marketing? For any business, being social is the key. Forget about today's digital world. Remember the times when you used to visit to brick and mortar model and to the shops, where the shopkeeper used to engage with you or their customers in a manner that they used to create a good communication. They used to talk about your personal life. They used to talk about your preferences. They used to have some fun dialogue, some fun, engaging communication. So this actually helps the customer to have some trust level built upon. Similarly, on social media, if a brand is sharing something, some content that offers awareness, that offers information that is helpful for you, that is helpful for your understanding about a particular topic, then you tend to get a little more associated with that particular brand. There are also brands, there are also business pages who share the successes of their staff. uh, if an employee is working with an organization for like 20, 30 years, and they want to give them an appreciation, so they post on their social media, on their Facebook, on their Instagram, on their Twitter, that this employee is working with us for, let's say, so many years. This employee is has helped us in achieving a particular goal, in achieving the sales margin to next level. So these kind of posts actually build your brand. These kind of posts also help your internal employees to share your post, and once they share your company's posts, your marketing is taking place. You are actually reaching out to multiple people. Similarly, if you create a good strategic alliance with your clients and they are happy, their feedback, their testimonials can be shared on your social media pages. This will help others to understand that your brand is doing some phenomenal work, and they will have a trust element associated with you as well. Social media marketing also helps you in increasing your connections. With the help of connections, you can reach out to different stakeholders. There's a possibility that you can connect with some influencers. There's a possibility that you can connect with some vendors, new vendors who can help you in achieving your targets or goals. And content marketing is very essential for social media marketing. Without content, you will not be able to post anything, because content is the king. And there is a formula, or let's say a concept of ice for content marketing. What is ice? Ice is basically a combination of three words: ICE, three alphabets, sorry. And I stands for informative, I stands for uh, inspirational, C stands for clear, C stands for committed, and E stands for engaging content. So, content must be engaging, content must be interesting, content must be inspirational, and besides that, it should have all the aspects to engage and entertain your audience. One thing which is actually the last point, but it is the most essential and most effective point, and that is be humane. If a customer wants to connect with you or your brand, the customer should have an idea or should have a feeling that I'm talking to a person, to an individual, rather than I'm talking to a robot. What happens is, if you get a question from your customer that they are facing some difficulties, some issues, and try to mitigate it, try to make it very comfortable for your, or for your customer. Keep it keep it keep it to a format where they share more information with you, so that you can help them, you can guide them, and you can make them understand how to resolve that problem, or how to make them a satisfied client. So these are the reasons why social media marketing is very essential, and it requires a lot of dedication, and it requires a lot of time as well to create a good social media marketing strategy. Okay, the social media power pack, actually it's all about the number centric, numeric centric side of the social media. For strategic alignments, you need to understand what your goals are. Creating a social media page, creating a social media profile will not help you unless you have a set goal, a set objective. Remember, when we talk about the strategy, you need to have a strategy. What do you want to achieve from that particular social media page of yours? Whether it's Instagram, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whatever that page is, you need to have a proper strategy running behind it. You need to have a proper goal. Do you want to achieve more sales? Do you want to create awareness? Do you want to bring more traffic to your website? Do you want to uh, engage with more um, customers? Do you want to just create a buzz about or engagement through your posts? What is it about? So that strategic alignment is very essential. The journey of social media is quite old, actually. So there have been different aspects to social media journey. Initially, it used to be very vanilla style. People used to create pages, social media pages. They used to post whatever they want to post, whatever they like to post, share content, share captions, share copywriting is copywriting content. And after that, they realize that it's not getting them anywhere. So they try to experiment with a little. They try to use different elements, and uh, with texts came pictures, with pictures came videos, with videos came memes, with memes came gifs. So people try to utilize different types of content sharing samples, and this helped them understand that which kind of content in which scenario is giving them a good and better engagement rate. Based on that, it should be operational. There should be some sort of CTA, that is call to action, so that if someone wants to engage with you, if someone wants to visit to a website, if someone wants to have more information, they can actually be directed to that particular place. That's why I'm sure you must have seen on some posts you see send message, on some posts you see visit the web store or visit the e-store, and on some posts, social media posts, you see visit website. So this is how it works. And being impactful is to have a good content, if to is to have very uh, powerful content that can inspire you, that can engage you, that can have the power to connect with you or connect with the audience. And analytics and reporting are very essential parts of social media marketing, because no matter how well your campaign might run, but unless and until you don't have the numbers, you will have, actually nowhere to look at. So for analytics and for reporting, there are tools. For Facebook, there is internal tool. You can always use that particular tool and find out what is your cost per click, what is your pay per click, what is your customer acquisition rate, and how many amount of uh, in what amount you have actually engaged a customer or a potential customer, and then whether that lead is locked or materialized or not, or matured or not. So this also helps on Facebook. And Facebook has its own. If you want to calculate the ROI or impressions or impacts on Twitter, there are other platforms as well which can help you in finding out the engagement rate, the which is based on likes, which is based on comments, which is based on shareability, which is based on interactions that a particular post actually engages. And finally, listening and engagement. Listening in the start of the training session, I shared the process, and where listening was the very essential part. I mean, it's for a strategy, it is the most essential part. You need to understand what people are talking about your brand, what people want to see on your social media pages, what kind of information you should share on your social media page. For this, uh, listening is very important. There are a few listening platforms like Sprout Social, Hootsuite, and Media Toolkit, with the help of which you can find out uh, the topics on which people are talking about. Zubia and Khairullah, you guys have a few questions, I suppose. So I'll start with Zubia, and then Khairullah, you can ask the question. Please go ahead.
वालेकुम सर।
Walaikum assalam.
जी मेरे ना यूट्यूब पर 9 के सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं और इंस्टाग्राम पे भी मेरे 3 के फॉलोअर्स हैं। तो मैं जो है वो मतलब ये सब मेरे खुद जो मेरी आईडी है उसके हैं, लेकिन मैं अब जो है वो एज अ सोशल मीडिया मार्केटर या मैनेजर काम करना चाह रही हूँ ताकि लोगों के भी जो फॉलोअर्स हैं सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं वो मैं ज्यादा कर सकूँ। ठीक है, तो मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि मार्केटर और मैनेजर दोनों अलग अलग काम होते हैं या फिर जो है वो हम मार्केटर और मैनेजर दोनों साथ भी बन सकते हैं। लाइक मतलब जैसे फाइवर पे वर्क वो आ रहे होते हैं, लोग सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे होते हैं, तो मार्केटिंग मैनेजर की भी कर रहे होते हैं, तो उनका क्या बहुत काम होता है, दोनों काम कर रहे होते हैं वो लोग।
ओके जी, सबसे पहले सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग या सोशल मीडिया मैनेजमेंट, यूजुअली ये पार्ट एंड पार्सल ही होता है कि देखिए, जब तक आप एक चीज को मैनेज नहीं कर सकेंगे, आप मार्केट कैसे करेंगे? सबसे बुनियादी जो चीज। उसके अलावा हमारे यहाँ जैसे ये समझ आता है कि एडवर्टाइजिंग एंड मार्केटिंग आर सॉर्ट ऑफ सेम थिंग्स, सेल्स और मार्केटिंग सॉर्ट ऑफ सेम थिंग, ये आपको ट्रेडिशनल मार्केट के अंदर देखने को मिलता है। उसी तरह सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग एंड सोशल मीडिया मैनेजमेंट आर ऑलमोस्ट द सेम थिंग्स। उसका जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज होती हैं, उसकी जो ड्यूटीज होती हैं सोशल मीडिया मैनेजर की, एक सोशल मीडिया मार्केटर की, वो समवॉट सिमिलर होती हैं, एक दूसरे से बहुत ओवरलैप करती हैं। अगर आपने आपके पास आपने कोई क्रिएटिव की विजुअल बनाया है, आपने कोई एक मार्केटिंग का कोई वो कंटेंट बनाया है, कैप्शन बनाया है, तो वो मैनेज भी आपने ही करना है। आइडियली सिचुएशन के अंदर ये होता है, अनलेस एंड अनटिल कोई बहुत ऐसी बहुत कम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जहां पर सोशल मीडिया मार्केटर और सोशल मीडिया मैनेजर अलग अलग लोग हों। ये बहुत कम देखने को मिलता है। तो आइडियली ये दोनों चीजें एक ही के अंदर फॉल करती हैं, स्पेशली इन लोकल मार्केट। और जो भी आपको मार्केटिंग के लिए हायर करता है, वो आपको वो ये एक्सपेक्ट भी कर रहा होता है कि आप मैनेजमेंट भी करेंगे। सो आई होप आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर मिल गया हो।
जी थैंक यू।
थैंक यू जी। खैरुल्लाह, you
अस्सलाम
want to
वालेकुम
ask something?
सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। वालेकुम सलाम।
Sir, I'm a student of software engineering. Previously, I observed that जो हम सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग में दो चीज़ें हमारे पास, एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट के थ्रू जो कम्युनिटी बिल्ड करते हैं, और एक जो एसईओ के टैक्टिक्स को यूज़ करते हुए हम जो कम्युनिटी बिल्ड करते हैं, तो उन दोनों में एसईओ वाली कम्युनिटी ज़्यादा स्ट्रांग होती है बनिस्बत वाली कम्युनिटी के।
आप हम्म, आपकी आवाज कट गई। आपका बस सवाल ही ये था कि एसईओ बेस्ड कम्युनिटी स्ट्रांग होती है और जो एडवर्टाइजिंग बेस्ड कम्युनिटी है वो थोड़ी सी उतनी स्ट्रांग नहीं होती जो एसईओ बेस्ड होती है। यही है, यही पूछना चाह रहे थे आप?
यस सर, जी जी, इन दोनों के माबेन जो गैप है इसे हम कैसे फुलफिल कर सकते हैं?
देखिए, एसईओ जो है वो बेसिकली सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन है। वो बहुत 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 जरूरी एलिमेंट है फॉर एनी डिजिटल मार्केटर। उसकी जो डायनामिक्स है, उसकी जो पूरी वर्किंग है वो बिल्कुल अलग है। गूगल पे कौन कौन से कीवर्ड सर्च किए जाते हैं, किस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री में कौन कौन से कीवर्ड एसेंशियल हैं, किस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री में लोग क्या क्या सर्च करते हैं, कितना सर्च करते हैं। तो पहली चीज तो एसईओ सेंट्रिक या एसईओ बेस्ड जो भी कम्युनिटी बनती है, एक तो वो थोड़ा सा वक्त भी ज्यादा मांगती है। पहली चीज, वो शॉर्ट फ्रेम ऑफ टाइम में नहीं बन सकती। उसके अलावा जो आप एडवर्टाइजिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, बिल्कुल पॉइंट बिल्कुल सही है। याद होगा मैंने एक पिछले सवाल में किसी को ये भी बताया था कि जो फेसबुक के ऊपर आपको कभी कभी मार्केटिंग से या एडवर्टाइजिंग से जो ऑडियंस मिलती है, अक्सर वो 100% रेलिवेंट ऑडियंस नहीं होती। कुछ उसमें से ऐसे लोग भी होते हैं जो जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ उस पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरी के उसमें ऐड हो जाते हैं और वो फिर आपको ज्यादा एंगेजमेंट नहीं दे पाते। तो पॉइंट बिल्कुल सही है, मगर एसईओ इज टोटली डिफरेंट बॉल गेम और एसईओ बहुत इम्पैक्टफुल है। उसमें टाइम भी ज्यादा दरकार होता है, उसमें ऑडियंस भी आपको रेलेवेंट मिलती है, राइट मिलती है। और सोशल मीडिया पे ये होता है कि देखिए, एक चीज होती है कि बहुत ज्यादा वॉल्यूम को लेके आना और उसमें से फिर उन लोगों को इंगेज करना, और एसईओ में बिल्कुल स्पेसिफिक ऑडियंस को लेके आना, और फिर ये बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है कि उनका इंटरेस्ट लेवल बरकरार रखा जाए विद द हेल्प ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ कंटेंट, इंफॉर्मेशन एंड अवेयरनेस यू आर शेयरिंग। सो एक तरफ हमें बहुत ज्यादा ऑडियंस मिलती है जिसमें थोड़ी आसानी ये होती है कि उसका जो थोड़ा सा जो शेयर बचता है आखिर में, वो थोड़ा ज्यादा होता है और वो थोड़ा ज्यादा एंगेजमेंट वाला होता है। और एक में होता है कि हमें ऑडियंस ऑलरेडी बहुत ही सिलेक्टेड मिल रही है, तो उसमें बस डर ये होता है कि अगर वो ऑडियंस स्लिप हो गई तो वापस आने के चांसेस बहुत कम होते हैं। डज इट मेक एनी सेंस टू यू नाउ?
जी सर।
ठीक। इज देयर एनी अदर क्वेश्चन जो कोई पूछना चाहे तो? या मैं जो भी, योर हैंड इज स्टिल रेज, डू यू हैव टू आस्क समथिंग या अभी तक रेज हुआ है?
नहीं जी सर, मुझे क्वेश्चन पूछना है।
जी जी, पूछिए।
सर, फाइवर पे अगर हम एज अ सोशल मीडिया मार्केटर या मैनेजर, ठीक है, बोथ मैं अपना तो मैनेज भी करती हूँ और उसकी मार्केटिंग तो फिलहाल जैसे एड्स होते हैं, मैं एड्स नहीं लगाती, मैं ऑर्गेनिकली, मतलब जो लोग आते हैं वो ऑर्गेनिकली आ रहे होते हैं कंटेंट को देखकर। तो मार्केटर तो फिलहाल चले, मैं यूट्यूब वगैरह से एड्स वगैरह सीख लूंगी और मैनेज करना भी मुझे अच्छे तरीके से आता है। मैं पूछ रही थी कि फाइवर पर हम किस तरीके से स्टार्ट ले सकते हैं एज अ सोशल मीडिया मार्केटर या मैनेजर, जैसे कि मतलब क्या क्या चीज़ें ज़रूरी होती हैं फाइवर पे कि हम पहले इंस्टाग्राम का बनाएं, क्या ऐसी कौन सी हाई हाई डिमांड स्किल्स हैं जिनका कंपटीशन भी लो हो, ताकि हमें, जैसे हम कोई पहली गिग बनाए तो उस पर ज़्यादा कस्टमर्स या क्लाइंट्स आ सके।
ओके, देखिए, इसके लिए आपको अपने पास मल्टीपल जो हैं वो बास्केट्स होती है ना, वो जो कॉन्सेप्ट होता है मल्टीपल बास्केट्स रखें, उसके अंदर आप क्या क्या ऑफर कर सकते हैं। कभी कभी कोई क्लाइंट वो चीजें देख रहा होता है, वो एक मिक्स बैग देख रहा होता है कि अगर मुझे एक सोशल मीडिया मार्केटर चाहिए जो मेरा ब्रांड अच्छे तरीके से चला सके, तो वो क्या इंस्टाग्राम अच्छा हैंडल करना जानता है, फेसबुक, ट्विटर, लिंक्डइन, व्हाटएवर, वो कौन कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म से जो देखना चाहता है। सबसे पहले अपनी प्रोफाइल को स्ट्रॉन्ग कीजिए, उसके अंदर ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक्सक्यूज मी, उसमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा वो पोर्टफोलियो डालिए, वो आप पेजेस डालिए जिसपे आपके पास एंगेजमेंट बहुत अच्छी है, जिनकी पोस्ट्स बहुत अच्छी हैं। कभी कभी आपको खुद अंदाजा हो जाता है कि इस पर्टिकुलर पेज के ऊपर कंटेंट बहुत अच्छा शेयर हुआ मगर एंगेजमेंट नहीं आ रही है। तो क्लाइंट ज्यादातर मांगते हैं एंगेजमेंट। तो एंगेजमेंट आपके जिस भी प्लेटफॉर्म पे ज्यादा आ रही है, अपने पोर्टफोलियो को फाइवर के ऊपर वहां पिच कीजिए। दूसरी चीज, अपनी प्रोफाइल के अंदर डेफिनेटली आपने कोई ना कोई कीवर्ड्स यूज किए होंगे, कोई ना कोई रेलेवेंट टर्म्स यूज की होंगी, उनको थोड़ा सा हाईलाइट कीजिए, उनको बेहतर बनाइए, ताकि जो भी आपके पास आए वो आपके टर्म्स को सबसे पहले समझे, कि उसको ये पता हो कि रेलेवेंट टर्म यूज की हुई है। उसके बाद अगर आप फाइवर के ऊपर अपना पोर्टफोलियो अच्छा शेयर करती हैं, डेफिनेटली चांसेस हैं कि वहां पे आपको ज्यादा बेहतर अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले। शुरू में अपना जो पर आवर जो आपका जो भी चार्ज करते हैं उसको लेस कंपैरेटिव रखें, ताकि लोग जो हैं वो इजीली ये माइंड सेटअप कर सकें कि आपको हायर किया जा सके। बहुत ज़्यादा हैवी बिडिंग जो है वो ना करें, क्योंकि कभी कभी होता है कि आपको ज़्यादा प्रोजेक्ट्स चाहिए होते हैं, एंड बेस्ड ऑन दोज पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट्स इन फ्यूचर यू कैन add your per hour charges as based on that. सो शुरू में तो ये चीज़ें ज़रूरी हैं। और पोर्टफोलियो को स्ट्रॉन्ग कीजिए, लिंक्स ज़्यादा जो है वो ऐड ऑन कीजिए, जो जिन जिन के लिए काम किया हुआ है, इफ यू कैन हैव सम टेस्टिमोनियल्स फ्रॉम देम, वो यूज कीजिए। अगर कोई आपके पास कोई वेबसाइट्स हैं जिन्होंने आपने इनके लिए काम किया हुआ है, उनको अपने अपने प्लेटफॉर्म पे लेकर आ सकें आप, अपने फेसबुक पेज के ऊपर, अपने इंस्टाग्राम के ऊपर, अपने ट्विटर, लिंक्डइन, XYZ जहां भी है, ताकि लोगों को दिखे कि आपने लोगों के लिए काम किया है। आई थिंक दिस विल हेल्प यू एंगेजिंग एंड गेटिंग मोर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स।
अच्छा सर, लेकिन मैंने जो है वो ज्यादातर पेजेस के लिए जैसे जिनकी ग्रोथ मैंने इंस्टाग्राम पे जैसे करी है या यूट्यूब पर करी है, तो वो मैंने पेजेस के लिए या कंपनीज के लिए नहीं करी, वो मैंने जैसे कोई पर्टिकुलर इंसान है उसके लिए करी है। जैसे मेरी कोई दोस्त है तो मैंने उसकी जो यूट्यूब चैनल है उसका मैंने जो है ना वो ज्यादा सब्सक्राइबर्स किए हैं, और उसकी मार्केटिंग और मैनेजिंग जो कर रहा है उसका किया है। तो ऐसा मैं किसी पर्टिकुलर इंसान के जैसे कि जरूरी नहीं है कि कंपनी हो, ये जरूरी तो नहीं है मतलब कि कंपनी का मैंने मैनेज किया हुआ हो, किसी इंसान का अगर किया हुआ हो तो भी हम वो फाइवर पे कर सकते हैं।
बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं। आप उनसे ये कह सकती हैं जिनके लिए भी आपने, लेट्स से आपने मेरे लिए किया, लेट्स से, तो आप मुझसे कहिए कि देखिए जी, मुझे आप एक इंस्टाग्राम के ऊपर या तो एक शाउट आउट दे दें, या आप मुझे एक मेरे लिए कुछ लिख दें जो मैं अपनी प्रोफाइल से, अपने इंस्टाग्राम प्रोफाइल से शेयर कर सकूं। तो वंस आई विल शेयर दैट, आप उसको रीशेयर कर सकती हैं, उसका लिंक आप जो है वो फाइवर पे डाल सकती हैं। दूसरा तरीका ये, फेसबुक के ऊपर सेटिस्फाइड क्लाइंट्स का या सेटिस्फाइड कस्टमर्स का या सेटिस्फाइड स्टेक होल्डर्स का आप एक वो बना सकती हैं कि सॉर्ट ऑफ एल्बम बना सकती हैं। उसके अंदर जिस जिसके लिए आपने काम किया, आप उन सब से ये कह सकती हैं कि प्लीज मेरे लिए कुछ लिख दें, उसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए, वो स्क्रीनशॉट उनके साथ आप उनको टैग करके लगा दीजिए, ताकि लोगों को ये पता हो। क्या ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि आपने किसी के लिए काम किया और वो ये नहीं चाह रहा कि पता चले कि पीछे आपने काम किया? ऐसी सिचुएशन में थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है कि क्लाइंट को ये समझाना कि ये काम आपने नहीं किया है, फिर आप कैसे इसकी वो ले रही हैं, जो वो होती है। अ, तो ऐसा 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 है।
क्या सर?
क्या ऐसा है कि आपने किसी के लिए काम किया है और वो ये नहीं चाहते कि लोगों को ये पता चले कि आपने उनके लिए काम किया?
नहीं नहीं, मैंने क्योंकि किसी कंपनी के लिए नहीं किया, मैंने जैसे अपनी कोई दोस्त हैं उनके लिए किया है, उनके मैंने फॉलोअर्स गेन किए हैं, बढ़ाए हैं, और जैसे कि अपनी बहन के लिए किए हैं। इस तरह से मैंने लोगों के लिए किया, मैंने किसी कंपनी के लिए नहीं किया। तो मैं बस ये चाह रही थी कि
ठीक है।
जैसे उनके इंस्टाग्राम प्रोफाइल मैं स्क्रीनशॉट लेके या इस तरह से फाइवर पे कर सकती हूँ अपलोड?
नहीं, उनके ना करें, आप ये कीजिए कि उनसे कहिए कि एक पिक्चर पोस्ट बनाएं जिसके अंदर वो ये लिखा हो कि थैंक यू सूबिया फॉर गेटिंग मी 10,000 फॉलोअर्स ऑन माय इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट, आई हाईली अप्रिशिएट योर एफर्ट्स। ठीक है, जब ये पिक्चर होगी तो ये इसका स्क्रीनशॉट लेके जो कि उनकी प्रोफाइल पे आ रहा होगा उसका लिंक आप प्लेस करें, विच मींस आपका नाम भी अपीयर हो रहा है, कोई आपको क्रेडिट भी दे रहा है, कोई आपको टेस्टिमोनियल भी लिख के दे रहा है। ये समझ में आया ये कॉन्सेप्ट?
जी थैंक यू सर, समझ आ गया बिल्कुल मेरे।
ठीक है, ये फेसबुक पे भी हो सकता है, ये लिंक्डइन पे भी हो सकता है, ये आपका इंस्टाग्राम पे भी हो सकता है। आप वीडियो लिंक भी शेयर कर सकती हैं, कोई सिर्फ ये कह दे कि वीडियो अपने इंस्टाग्राम पे या किसी भी प्रोफाइल पे कह दे वीडियो बना के कि बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, इन्होंने मुझे बहुत अच्छी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड की हैं और मुझे 1 महीने के अंदर, 1 हफ्ते के अंदर, जो भी आपने उनके लिए काम किया है, वो बस 5 6 8 सेकंड के लिए वो चीज़ वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर दें और अपनी किसी प्रोफाइल पे पोस्ट कर दें, आपको टैग कर दें, उसका लिंक आप जो है वो शेयर कर दीजिए अपने सोशल मीडिया, अपने फाइवर के ऊपर, और वहां से आपको पॉसिबिलिटी है कि एक
अच्छा अगर मैं
बेहतर
किस
एंगेजमेंट।
अच्छा अगर मैं किसी कस्टमर, जैसे मैं अपने दोस्त को बोलूँ कि वीडियो बनाओ और साइड साइड पे उस वीडियो के उसका जैसे इंस्टाग्राम के फॉलोवर्स और उसके यूट्यूब के फॉलोवर्स ऐसे करके मैं उसका स्क्रीनशॉट लगा दूं, साथ में उसकी वीडियो चल रही हो, तो वो मैं एज अ गिग के तौर पे ये फाइवर पे लगा सकती हूँ?
बिल्कुल लगा सकती हैं, बिल्कुल कर सकती हैं, उसका लिंक प्लेस कर सकती हैं।
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू। Okay जी, so now we have a very important slide जिसके अंदर we will discuss about K, which is the right medium to post. देखिए, if you have a page, किसी का mic on है, can somebody please turn off your mic? Okay. So you need to be very careful about what kind of content you are posting on which platform. There are certain posts that are not suitable for, let's say, LinkedIn, but they are suitable for Facebook. There are certain posts which are not suitable for YouTube, but suitable for Instagram because of the kind of content that is usually being shared on social media. And with this, I would just wrap the presentation, and there are not much things that are actually left. I've talked about, I'll just share one main point, that is content in social media calendar. Always plan your calendar, always plan your social media postings. You should have beforehand an idea what you will post in coming week. So I always do it like this, that in the coming 5 days or 6 days, these are the topics that I would like to post on, and these will be shared on different social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. So always create a calendar. This will help you in devising a proper strategy and devising a proper plan for your digital platform, for your social media platform. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for attending to this training. If you have any question, please feel free to ask, and then we will just adieu.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Walaikum Assalam.
Sir, which website or app do we need to use to create a calendar?
For social media calendar, there is no particular website. You can have a Excel sheet. In the right hand side, you can write the platform, time, and what kind of content you are planning to share. Some people also use Hootsuite. I have used Hootsuite for quite a few times, but before that, you understand what Hootsuite is about. You should be very much clear what kind of content, what kind of a strategy you want to use. So always use Excel sheet initially, and then plan your content accordingly. Hootsuite is a platform, Hootsuite is a tool that helps you in posting or scheduling or scheduling the posts. There's Hootsuite, there's Social Champ, SOCIALCHAMP, Social Champ, and Hootsuite, HWTSUITE. So these are the platforms. They are available for free as well and for paid versions as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other question? I think we should just wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for attending this training session. And if you have anything to ask, you can just connect with me on my social platforms, and hopefully, I will reply to everyone's query and concerns. Thank you so much. Uh, so, take care. Have a